What up, YouTube? Alex coming back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map. You'll probably recognize him. It's our orange Genetron player, a Grandmaster player from Australia, going up against his opponent, spawning on the top right-hand side of the map. It's our blue Genetron player, Barcode. Now, you did give me Barcode's name in the replay submission, but because he's playing under this Barcode alias, will retain his privacy in case he wants to remain anonymous. But Barcode, if you find this video and you want to give yourself a shout out, please go ahead and do so in the comments down below. Now, if you guys are new to the custom Scion Races mod, this mod adds 3 new playable races to the StarCraft universe. It's a super sick mod, and I highly recommend you guys check it out when you get the chance. Now, back to the show. You trying to deny the expansion right here for Barcode, but the Spitfire able to destroy that ACR and open up some space for Barcode to throw down his expansion in the natural base location. On the other side of the map, though, you already has his expansion just about finished, and we already have 2 manufacturers for our blue Barcode player. Taking a look at the production tab, he's got 2 Spitfires on the way, and it looks like these manufacturers are rallied to the other side of the map. So Barcode going for what I think is going to be a bit of an aggressive play style. On the other hand, is chilling. He's got 1 blitzer finish. He's got, what is this, 2 more blitzers on the way. So the blitzer is like a tier, I want to say 1.5 unit, if I'm not mistaken. You do need the analysis terminal to build it. The analysis terminal does allow you to research upgrades. So we will have tier 1.5 units going up against tier 1 units, and we already have the Spitfires on the way. We have 2 more Spitfires building at the same time, and we have what is 1 Spitfire waiting for his buddies, hiding in the bushes. This is tactical, man. He looks like a little tank. That is so sick. But this is going to be 2 blitzers going up against 3 Spitfires, now 3 blitzers. So I think this is plenty for you to handle. He's not even okay. Now he's microing. I was like, okay, he sees this on the mini map. He's like, nah, that's nothing I have to deal with. So he just leaves his blitzers on the ramp to his natural base. Oh, and this is interesting. This is actually something I never mentioned, I don't think. What you was saying right here. The Genetron have energy, and they repair using the energy. So we don't see this on this UI that I'm using right now, but there is energy that the Genetron use. It's this blue bar right here. So instead of spending resources to repair your units, you spend energy. So if you ever play the custom Scion Races mod and you play the Genetron and you try to repair something and for some reason it's not repairing even though you have minerals, it's because you likely don't have the energy to do so. Now, what do we see? We see what is going to be a big push of Spitfires. How many Spitfires are there? So the Spitfires right here. Oh, sound is disabled. That is my bad. There we go. Sound is now enabled. So the Spitfires, we have 7 Spitfires to 8 blitzers. So I don't think this is enough for our Barcode to do any sort of real damage. We have what is likely going to be a 3rd base coming down for you as well. We have the blitzers kind of going out of position just a little bit and now going to defend the 3rd base location. I don't think he realizes that there are Spitfires at his front door. He does have the processor. Now the processor is a really cool unit. This is a detector unit, and it moves super fast. So it's almost like a high-speed uncloaked observer. This is one of my favorite units, I gotta say. Now, what do we have? We have what is going to be the Spitfires coming in and will likely force the cancel on that processing core. So you will still be on 2 bases at the same time. Our Barcode player is going to be on 3 bases. Now, I don't think I mentioned it, but I think Barcode is a Grandmaster player. So he is really holding his own against you, and you is a really good player, man. I think I played one game against him in a Pete mode for the custom Scion Races mod, and I got I got myself wrecked, bro. I did not stand a chance. I don't know if you remember that. I'll try to dig up the replay, but for some reason, I think Pete mode does not really support replays for the custom Scion Races mod. So that's something I'll have to look into. Now, we have the third base finishing up for our Barcode Genetron player. We have the Blitzers just chilling by this really cool, what is this? Some sort of temple or something. That is sick. It almost reminds me of something the Zelnaga would build, actually. Now we have the third base just about halfway done for our orange Genetron player We have what is going to be a push of 5 blitzers and 2 processors. So we'll see. We'll see what you can do. He may be able to snipe this processing core, but at the same time, we have the mole. Now, if you're not familiar with the Genetron or the custom Scion Races mod at all, the mole is basically like the Spider-Man version of a siege tank. It can walk and it can move around, but it cannot shoot when it's walking. It has to burrow, and then it becomes a siege tank. It is a super sick unit. I hope we can see one walking around soon. It looks like we had a little bit of a skirmish right here in the middle of the map. Nothing too crazy. This processor is still alive, gathering precious information for you for this game, and I think we may be seeing what is going to be a late game. It really doesn't look like either player is in any position to win or lose at this point in the game. So we are going into what I want to say is going to be a macro game, which is sick. A lot of the games I've been casting lately, I feel like have been on the shorter side. So it's going to be nice casting a bit of a longer game. What do we have? We have a fourth base coming down for our blue Barcode player. Meanwhile, he is still on 3 bases. Taking a look at the worker count, 67 workers for Barcode to 64 for So, based on the fact that is a Grandmaster player, I gotta say, I think Barcode is also a Grandmaster player. Taking a look at the army supply, 46 army supply to 36. Minerals are being spent pretty well. Both players under 1,000 minerals. Is now at 45 minerals, so he just dumped a lot of minerals into something. What is on the production tab? We have upgrades coming down for both players. We have 2 more moles on the way for our Barcode player, and we have 7 more blitzers on the way for our orange Genetron player. So both players really playing a hard game right now. These blitzers running away, and going for the attack on the retreating Genetron units. Now, one thing that the blitzers have is they have a boost that I think lasts for about 4 seconds, and I believe it increases their movement speed by 40%, if I am remembering that correctly. So it's really good for engaging and disengaging armies. So that's what we saw right there as the Barcode player was retreating. Now, we have more of these moles, and this is what I was talking about. So they look like spider mines, but they can't attack. So unlike the siege tank, which can attack when it's unsieged, I believe the spider mine can't do that. So the spider mine does have to burrow, and it is very strong once it is burrowed, though. But the blue player is finding himself really out of position, potentially, for defending this third base, and I feel it, man. He's out for blood. He has the fixers. The fixer is basically a medic for the Genetron, but it also attacks, so that's something to keep in mind if you are playing against a Genetron player, is these fixers, although they do heal, they can also do damage. And here we go. We have what is going to be a really big engagement at the third base location for the blue Genetron player, and actually surviving this. The fixer's doing a really good job at keeping that army alive. We have some moles a little bit late to the party for the orange player, but these moles on the blue side of the map able to defend against the orange army. And now we have what is the mole, 2 of the moles. One of the moles, I think, going into some sort of detection mode is what I think that was. I think that gives you extra map vision wherever this is located, is what I think that ability does. I could be wrong. I haven't actually used it before. Not that ability, at least. I used the mole, but not that ability. Now, what are we seeing on the orange side of the map? We have what is going to be 4 bases. We have a lot of moles actually on the way, and we also have the equalizer. So the equalizer, I don't recall exactly what it does. It's not something I've used a lot. I know you're going to see this. Please explain to our audience what the equalizer does. I'm pretty sure it does extra damage, potentially against armored units, but that's something I'll have to check after this game. We have the moles in a really good position on the cliff. getting the high ground and able to get sight on what was the blitzers for the blue player. And it looks like, where is blue going? He knows that there's an army right here in the middle of the map. I guess he's trying to attack that processor, but now he's leaving himself really vulnerable in the middle of the map. He's got his third base kind of exposed, and he's also got his fourth base not necessarily as exposed with those moles on the high ground. And at the same time, we have what is going to be repulsors that were built at the, what is this, the fifth base location for our orange player. Oh, for a second, I thought that was an orange fixer. I'm like, why isn't it going down? But no, that is a blue fixer. Now we have a really, really big engagement once again at the third base location for our blue Barcode player. This processing core is still somehow alive, man. We have the Badger, which is a capital ship for the Genetron race. It does quite a bit of anti-ground damage, but it also does anti-air damage. But I think where it really excels is with that anti-ground damage. As you can see, it has that Gatling gun right there, so it does a lot of damage. And I think it just looks really sick. It also has the shield ability, so the shield ability will allow it to stay alive for a bit longer. And this makes use of the shared energy for the Genetron. So one thing to keep in mind is, even though this unit has its own exclusive energy, as far as I know, to use any energy for your units, you have to have energy in the universal bank for the Genetron. So that's something to keep in mind as well. There are reactors, I believe, you can build that allow you to have a bigger energy cap and a higher rate of recovery for that energy. So next time I cast a Genetron array, next time I cast a game featuring the Genetron race, I might use the standard UI just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about, because this caster UI does not show it. And here we go. We have an engagement in the middle of the map. I think there's more firepower for our orange Genetron player, though. The blue army going down. This mole, like, nope, see ya. I am not dealing with that. Running for his life. Will get away somehow. We have what is the mole right here. Okay, so I guess it's cloaked when it's using that ability. Oh, wait, maybe not actually. No. Okay, no. The interdictor, I'm pretty certain, is a detector. So that mole getting spotted by the blue Barcode player. And the more I'm watching him, the more I want to say that this guy is definitely a Grandmaster player, based on the fact that you is a Grandmaster Australian player. How many bases is our blue player on? What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No, I feel like that's... Okay, I guess that's 5 bases. I wanted to say 6, but no. He's on 5 bases. Taking a look at the worker supply. 99 workers to 89. So a 10 worker supply lead for our... for our blue Genetron player. Now, taking a look at the army supply, 108 army supply to 88 in favor of our orange Genetron players. So even though there is a slightly stronger economy for our blue Barcode player, U is slightly ahead in the army supply. And taking a look at the upgrades, upgrades are 2 attack upgrades for our blue Barcode player, and we have one, I believe this is vehicle attack upgrades for our orange player, and I think this is light attack upgrades for our orange Genetron player. Now we have a big engagement right here at the 4th base location for you. The processing core goes down, and the blue army is still alive. You just a little bit too far out of position. Taking a look at the production tab, we have three ground attack upgrades on the way for our blue Barcode player. You finally able to take out that blue army, but at the cost of his base. Taking a look at the resources lost, virtually even, 13,000 resources lost to 16,000. So a slight deficit for our blue player, but really nothing too significant at this point in the game, especially given the fact that he's got 106 workers on the field. That is insane. How many workers have gone down this game? 22 workers gone down, killed by orange, and 16 killed by blue. And now it looks like U is out for revenge. Will take out this processing core. More than likely will take out this processing core. We have what is a blue army in the middle of the map. What's the army supply at? 86 army supply in favor of you to 64 army supply for our blue Barcode player. This processing core goes down, and now you is in a position to potentially get some big engagements. At the same time, able to chase away the blue army from his, I want to say this is his 4th base location. And now we have a worker pull right here, forcing the worker pull to try and repel this orange army, but losing so many workers right there. Now 59 workers killed by our orange Genetron player. This processing core will likely go down, and at the same time, we have another engagement right here. I want to say at the 6th base location, but those repulsors will likely force that army away. And just as I said it, never mind, I'm just joking. I was wrong. The repulsors do go down, and now we have another processing core in jeopardy. Barcode finding himself in a really tough position. Now we're evened out on the worker count, 72 workers to 73. Now 71 workers. How many workers were killed? 65 workers killed at this point to 23. Large lead for our orange Genetron player. Just taking out that Vespene Geyser as well, just out of pettiness. Not really, but that's what it feels like. Barcode finally able to chase away this orange army, but at the cost of 2 bases. Taking a look at the resources lost, now 26,000 resources lost to 18,000. So you finding himself in the lead at this point. Taking a look at the army supply, relatively even though, 87 army supply to 88. But this might be a big pickup for our Barcode player. Could have gotten those moles out of position while they were unburrowed, but deciding to run back. Now we have actually a pretty good badger count. Taking a look at the units, how many badgers do we have? We have, what is that? Where are the badgers on? Oh, wait, no, I was looking at orange. I'm like, where are they? So we have 3 badgers on the field for our blue Genetron player, but Barcode is really in a tough spot at this point in the game, losing all those bases, losing so many workers. Now Yu is finding himself in an economic advantage, but able to snipe that 3rd base relatively easily, but not the worst loss for you, to be honest. This base is almost mined out, so there are other bases that are more important at this point in the game, but you deciding to go ahead and throw that down anyway and replace it. Also throwing down a lot of repulsors. Now, if you're not familiar with the Genetron, they don't have to build things like Terran. They build things a lot more like Protoss. As we can see, this one worker, this hero, ACR, able to throw down so many repulsors on his 3rd base location. It looks like at the same time, oh, here we go. We had some bombers. We had the Jupiters, one of my favorite units. I wish we caught that. Hopefully we see that later on. At the same time, though, we have a big engagement right here, but it looks like Barcode may actually come out ahead and destroy the orange army. So are we seeing another plot twist? And here we go. We have the Jupiters throwing down a bunch of bombs, but a little too late, I feel like. We also have the Avengers, which are anti-air units. I feel like there is not enough anti-ground outside of the Jupiters, because the Avenger only shoots up and the Jupiters only do damage when they use those bombs. So you have to be very careful with your micro. They are not cheap units, and once they throw down the bombs, they are very vulnerable. And now we have what is the 4th base location likely going to go down for our orange Genetron player. We also have the moles right here. Man, this game is getting insane, bro. It's just non-stop, and there's things happening all over the map. Now we have badgers for our orange Genetron player, able to clean up the rest of the blue moles. We have 1 blitzer still alive, 1 mole. How many kills did that have? Did I see 13 or was that 3? I'll have to go and look back when I edit this video. And here we go. We have more bombs. We have these badgers with their shields up. This mole once again running for its dear life. Like, no, dude, I don't shoot up. I cannot do anything about that. I can't attack Jupiters. I cannot attack badgers. I am running away, and here we go. We have this base relatively safe at this point. Workers killed this game, 79 workers to 57. Let's take a look at the worker supply. 66 workers to 71. So Barcode actually finding himself ahead at this point. He has an equalizer right here scouting around. We have what is going to be a big bombing run on those ACRs. They somehow stay alive. So one thing to keep in mind with the Jupiter is they leave a bit of fire AoE damage after they throw down those bombs. We have what is going to be blitzers at, what is this, probably the 5th base location. At the same time, we have blue blitzers going down to these repulsors. I feel like I'm watching a campaign mission. And this is what I was talking about, though. You have to be very careful with those Jupiters because they will go down. We also have the Boars. The Boars have this ability that basically charges into air units. So as their design suggests, they basically drill into other air units. So that poor ACR just trying to work. They're just trying to do stuff, man, and they're getting killed by this blue army. So I really don't know who's going to win. This looks like it's a really dangerous position for you at this point, but we have what is going to be a really big army to come and engage this, and Barcode may be slightly overextended. The Jupiter's doing a ton of damage to the ground army. The Avengers taking out the Boars, and now we have what are going to be the Blitzers left all alone, and these Badgers will easily clean them up. Barcode throwing out the GG, giving the victory to you. What an epic game. I think this was the most epic game I've cast on my channel in a very long time. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want me to cast any of your own games, I will leave my email and Discord in the description below. And I'll see you on the next one.